People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the political legendary guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. from Bibb's Record Shop. We will begin our broadcast this evening with two famous quotes from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The first one is, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politics nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. The second one is, it may well be that we will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the neurotic words and the violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of the good people who sit around and say, wait on time. We know that these quotes are relevant today because we have situations in our community today, like the closing of the St. Vincent Charity Hospital, where we need our civic leaders and our politicians to come out and speak out for those individuals who have lost their jobs, and also the closing of the Elijah Bryant Senior Citizens Facility. It was closed up and people have lost their jobs in our community. So we need our civic leaders and our political leaders to come out and speak up for our citizens. And at this time, we will have our final quote from the Congressman William Bill Clay from St. Louis, Missouri. And Mr. Clay said, no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. Let me say it again. No permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. So I want to let you know today that we have a great opportunity just for you. A brand new great opportunity with Bibb Business Opportunity Mall. For more information, you can call Charles E. Bibb's office at 216-681-1469 or his mobile phone at 216-659-4619. For more information, you can get a business started today with Snap Opportunity. Snap has a great opportunity just for you. And also, Snap has another opportunity with Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, this ERC refund, $1.9 trillion. And you want to ask the question, now who is eligible to receive this $1.9 trillion? Let me tell you, you can receive up to $26,000 per W-2 employee if you have a business in the United States. And if you have a nonprofit organization in the United States, you qualify for a federal tax refund check. Also, we are launching the Refinding Health and Wellness products and the best hands-free wealth strategies, WEBE education, life, also with Life Wave, X39 stem cell activation. Have you been patched yet? Have you been patched yet? And the answer to that question is yes, I have. And I've been getting some incredible results from the patch with the X39. It takes away the pain, and I certainly appreciate it. And now we will begin our broadcast with some incredible information we have with you today, where we want to inform you, empower you. We have our own CEO himself, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. himself is in the studio. He's coming to you with some great news. Come on, Mr. Bibb, take it away.
Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair, with your awesome startup kicking off this show, because we got one hot show tonight.
Yes.
We are on this country from New York City to Florida to Chicago. Now, at the last minute, we got the state of Tennessee.
Yes.
So get your paper and pen ready. Live audience, listening audience, viewing audience, and all audience.
Yes.
So you're going to get some information today. We're going to get right off because we don't have any time to lose. We got to go real fast.
Right.
It's Miss Joanne Holly in the house.
She has not joined us yet.
All right, if Miss Joanne have, so if she's not here from Cleveland Heights, we're gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia. Is that all right, Mr. James Jerome Bell? If we go to Atlanta, Georgia, and pick up Mr. Jeff Payton,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jeff Payton,
Hello,
smoking down
Mr.
in
Bibb.
Atlanta, Georgia. Tell us
Hello,
what's going on
everyone.
down there, so we can hook our train up.
All right, all right. How's everybody? Get ready, get ready, get ready. People, get ready podcast. I'm excited to be here this evening. Thank you for inviting me, Mr. Bibb. I enjoyed your testimony there, Mr. Fair, Reverend Fair. Congratulations on your pain relief.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bibb, it's good to see you and everyone else. Candace, great to see you as well. Tonight, I'm going to simply talk about something that's very important to the growth of the Cleveland area and the expansion of our company, LifeWave X39 stem cell patch. Now, the stem cell patch is an incredible invention by David Schmidt, one of the people who has put his brain together in a think tank with a bunch of other geniuses to come up with stem cell research, stem cell implants, and now stem cell light wave activation, the latest technology. Cleveland, you gotta know, Cleveland and the rest of the country, actually, you have to know where you are in hearing the things that I'm speaking on right now. First of all, it's a scientific breakthrough. It allows people to use their own stem cells. No longer do you have to have transplants or get experimented on to have your own actual stem cells rejuvenated and revived. So we're excited about that technology because it's the wave of the future. Holistic healing is what the future brings. As Reverend Fair said, he said it's relieving pain. It's cure. It's actually helping people get rid of disease and disorder. It attacks inflammation and destroys free radicals. All the things that are necessary for us to have a good and healthy, futuristic life, a quality of life. That's one of the methods in which we're using to help heal the world. But the other method in which we're helping to heal the world is through finance. This is a wonderful opportunity. Actually, it's so ground floor that the concrete hasn't been even cracked yet. So the positioning, timing, all those things are very important. But if you will, take a look at this incredible compensation plan where we're positioning folks to earn or get in a position in the next 6 months to earn over $25,000 a week. Don't listen, I want to repeat that because $25,000 a week is a lot of money. That equates to $100,000 a month or $1 million a year through this opportunity, because we're talking about an industry that's growing at a rate of, it went from $2 million during its inception to $200 billion in the very near future. So just to get a piece of that, 1% of that, put you in a position where you may not have to work again, but you'll be working for yourself. And we're talking about not taking this on as a job, but taking it on as a business. It's very serious. It's the greatest opportunity that I've seen. Mr. Bibb and I have been in other marketing companies together, had huge success, but never, ever have I seen a marketing plan structured where everybody that gets involved wins. There are people coming into your organization you don't even know about, and you're earning money off of them. That in itself is exciting. So, I want to talk to you right now about schedule. We have in line a fantastic lineup each and every week. Opportunity meetings on Monday from 8 on Zoom, via Zoom from 8 p.m. till around 9 or so. They usually last about 40, 45 minutes. We hear fantastic testimony like Reverend Fair just gave in regards to what the patch is doing for him. There are people who have other issues like myself, uh, who have diabetes, that had a stroke, congestive heart failure, have a pacemaker, all these crazy things. But Patch has done wonders for me and is starting to heal my body all over again, where I can now, my ejection fraction, I'll talk to you about that a moment, which is your heart rate percentage, went from 15 to currently now 60. And in heart language, 60 is equivalent to 100% functioning right. So I went from 15% dysfunction to now 60% function, thanks to the use of this patch. And I've been wearing it since November, and I'll never stop wearing it because they say that when you wear this patch for 6 months, your heart actually ages in reverse by 8 years. So I want to live a long time. I've got a family that I love. I want to be able to share the rest of my life with them and have a good quality of life as I live. So on Monday nights, we have 8 o'clock Zoom meeting. Wednesday, Thursday, we have the Spanish meeting. So if you know anybody in the Spanish market, you might want to turn them on to that Spanish meeting. That market is wide open, folks. And there's so much opportunity there. On Friday, there's a Zoom luncheon meeting. Starts at 12 o'clock. And then from there, we go to a Saturday, the big event goes from Saturday training from 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock. And you'll hear people like Onyx Cole and Steve and Gina Merritt. You'll hear people like on Tuesday and Thursday, you're gonna have a special treat with a very, very dear friend of mine and a super powerhouse in the marketing industry by the name of Ken Robinson. So you want to plug into that. On Thursdays, we have a California West Coast meeting that starts at 10 o'clock p.m. If you have folks on the West Coast, plug them into that. We'll be forwarding you all the Zoom information and the schedule for those events. I want to thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Bibb, for
Mr.
allowing
Payton.
me to speak. I appreciate
Mr.
you allowing
Payton,
me to speak. Yes, sir. I'm going to turn it back
stick
over to you.
around. Don't go away. We're gonna have you back because we want to talk about Sunday a little bit. What's gonna happen Sunday evening at
Sounds good.
9 o'clock, and we're gonna be moving right along because we got a lengthy program tonight.
All
And
right. Thank you, sir.
Mr. James Jerome Bell, he has to go to Wisconsin. He has to go to Chicago. Tell us what's going on, Mr. James Jerome Bell.
Okay, well, I'll start off with the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race in which Janet Prosowitz beat the Republican Daniel Kelly. This is huge because it shifts the landscape in a Republican dominated state which had control of the Supreme Court for 16 years. What is also important is that it changes the trajectory of abortion rights, possibly in Wisconsin. So we will be looking ahead towards that to see if a case comes before the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Also, in the Chicago mayor's race, Brandon Johnson beat fellow Democrat Paul Valles. What's unique about this is that Brandon Johnson had the support of the Chicago Teachers Union, him being a former teacher and Cook County Commissioner. Paul Valles had the support of the Chicago Police Department. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Johnson administration will be able to offer sort of a peace leave to the Chicago Police Department after not getting their support, and hopefully Chicago will be a better city for it. Now, also this week, last Tuesday, Donald Trump was indicted on 34 charges related to his indiscretions with several women. He had 34 charges brought up against him. So we will see. He's not doing court until December. So he is still campaigning for a return to the White House as president. So we will see the unique situation that the president, the former president, is placed in, being under indictment and running for public office. So those are some of the things that are in the landscape politically this week. Mr. Bibb, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. James Jerome Bell. Anyone have any questions before I have mine?
I do.
Ms. Candace
I do have
Jones.
one question. Mr. Bell, you mentioned that he's not doing court until December. Is
Yes.
it December? Gosh, this is April, and we got to wait until December.
Yes.
Seems like an awfully long time for something to happen.
The Reverend Fair is going to talk about the arraignment a little later. See, 34 counts he was charged with,
Right.
so his attorneys have to prepare for court. And they got to give him all that time to prepare. And the actual date is December 4th before they do. And then there'll be some more time. They'll be right in the middle of the presidential race.
Right.
The first Republican debate is in August. So it'll be debates in court. And Reverend Fair, a little later on, he'll bring us up. See, two things happened yesterday, Ms. Candace Jones. We had the arraignment in the daytime, then Trump went back home to Florida and Mar-a-Lago and had his big campaign rally that night. So they run in parallel. We never had anything like this before. That's why I asked everybody to stay on top of their assignments, even your Jerome James Bell, because the teachers union was with one candidate, and the police union was with another candidate. So it's going to be a little exciting in Chicago for a few months. So you'll have something to report for a while. What's going on over there? Good question. Anything from you,
No, he just
Yes,
brought
sir.
it up. And,
Reverend Ben Fair?
no, not at this time, Mr. Bill.
Okay. And that's earth-shaking what happened in Wisconsin. The Republicans have been controlling the state Supreme Court for 15 years. Now the Democrats have the majority on the court. So there's still hope for Ohio if they go to work.
Yes.
Right. And, okay, I'll pass up my question to later if we have time. Ms. Candace Jones has a awesome information. The floor is yours, Ms. Candace Jones. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I'd like to share some information. So I've been talking over the last few weeks about the SNAP Partners Conference that's coming up, and it is this month. It's April 28th, 29th, and 30th in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I will be going to Cincinnati along with some other from Cleveland and surrounding areas as well. The host hotel is the Renaissance Cincinnati downtown. One of the SNAP Partner resources that was instrumental in getting SNAP Delivered started in Ohio, Garfield Dawes, is opening a restaurant. The grand opening will be this Saturday, April the 8th. And of course, he will be using SNAP delivered for food delivery services
Yes.
when people call in for those services. So come on out and wish him luck on his grand opening this Saturday. The address is 27075 Chardon Road in Richmond Heights, 44143. You can stop by April the 8th. He will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And those are the normal business hours, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So this Saturday, as part of the grand opening, Robert Johnson Jr. will be there supplying some entertainment. He's the Lion Dance King. So come on out and support Garfield. There'll be other giveaways and things that will be going on that day as well. So come on out to the Jamaican, the name of the restaurant is Personal Chef Jamaican Restaurant, 27075 Chardon Road in Richmond Heights. That will be August 8th, this Saturday. They open at 10 a.m. So look forward to seeing you there.
All right, very good. Thank you. Good job, good job. Garfield is a good cook, so now he's gonna do it professionally. So
Yes.
we're gonna see if he really is a good cook.
All right.
You got to be a good cook to keep a restaurant open.
Right.
And it's gonna be a Jamaican restaurant, is that right, Miss?
Yes,
Candace?
that's right.
Yeah, right. And it's 10 a.m. Saturday morning. It's going all afternoon, I'm sure. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
very
going to be
good.
going on all day.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you. Now we're going up to the Motor City.
All right. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Barry Gordy might be going to the West Coast. But James Panicus Jr. is up there. And he got a brand new one, Reverend.
All right.
So brand new, he got to say that name 2 or 3 times before he explain it. Mr. James Panicus Jr., are you in the house in Detroit, Michigan? Are you there?
I know he's got a lot of things going on in Detroit. He has not joined us yet. He will be joining shortly.
All right, he'll be joining shortly. So let me see. Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
since we can't go to Detroit, can we go to East Cleveland Police Department, see how they doing in court?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did say James Jerome Bell, I get the name. See how the East Cleveland Police Department
Yes,
is
sir.
doing in court. We had some former presidents in court this week and East Cleveland Police in court.
Yes.
There, no room for regular citizens no more. Go ahead on, Reverend.
All right, Mr. Bibbs. We have a real report from East Cleveland. The former East Cleveland officers indicted on multiple charges pleaded not guilty. Nicholas Forte appeared in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court on Tuesday. The former East Cleveland police officer, Nicholas Forte, pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on Tuesday in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. Forte is charged with multiple offenses, which included felonious assault, attempted felonious assault, interfering with civil rights, and dereliction of duty. A judge set his bond at $2,500, which Forte posted on Tuesday. He is due back in court on April the 13th, Mr. Bibb. Forte is one of 11 former or current East Cleveland officers indicted on various criminal charges. The 10 other officers pleaded not guilty during a hearing on March the 28th as bond was set at $10,000 each.
My goodness.
They are all expected back in court for a pretrial hearing on Tuesday, April the 11th at 9 a.m. And you know what they say, stay tuned for more. So here we have it. So here's what the Michael O'Malley, the prosecutor for Cuyahoga County, said. There has been a cancer growing in East Cleveland Police Department. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael C. O'Malley said when announcing the charges back on March the 8th, We are doing our best to remove every tentacle of this cancer so this department can rebuild and grow to put itself in a position to hire officers who will enforce the law as well as follow the law. This is a sad day for all law enforcement personnel, Mr. Bibbs. So East Cleveland has an ongoing situation there with the police department. They need some help.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna make sure I heard this right. They're due back in court on the 11th,
They're due back in court on April the 11th.
and Miss Candace Jones, when is our next podcast?
The 12th.
The 12th.
So I don't have to tell you if I'm being
Yes,
fair.
sir.
Have your report ready.
Yes, absolutely.
Look like they gonna make our show a series. Everything we do is a series now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And the first 10, they pleaded not guilty also.
They pleaded not guilty.
So this is gonna be great.
11, can you imagine 11 police officers
Yeah.
charged? That's half of the department.
Right.
They only have 20 officers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Only in
did
East
they
Cleveland.
did they get replacements for those officers?
No, that's why the prosecutor O'Malley is saying he need to get things cleared up so they can hire more officers.
Right.
Right.
I think
Not to mention, not to mention the police chief was also indicted in East Cleveland.
Right.
I think the State Highway Patrol is stepping in with some resources to help the East Cleveland Police Department.
Let me, as a former city councilman, let me tell you how that works. They only come in when the mayor invite them in.
Somebody said, "What about the sheriffs?"
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't go into a chartered city without the executive inviting you in. So we don't know what they're doing at this time, but in reality, they have about 40-some police on the force.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some others indicted also. It's almost 20 altogether.
Wow.
It's just the last bunch. We had a bunch before that. You remember about
Yes.
3 or 4 months you gave us, 3 or 4 months ago you gave us a report on that.
Yes.
So you got the old ones and the new ones. So it's something gonna be going on for a while.
Okay.
They got a big stew brewing over there, Mr.
Yeah,
Bibbs.
big one. I hadn't seen anything like this. That's why we have to stay right on top of it so we can let the citizens know what's going on with their tax dollars. Okay, I'm told Mr. James Panica's plane is just landed. He's back in Detroit from a national convention up in Salt Lake City. Are you there, Mr. James Panicas?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you left Detroit, Michigan, went to Salt Lake City this weekend, and you got good news. Tell us about that good news.
Oh, man, I'm excited. We were in Salt Lake City. We met with a billionaire. That's with a B, Mr. Bibb, a billionaire. We were out there meeting with a billionaire, making some big plans. We met with this billionaire and partnered up with our organization Top Gun and launched a brand new opportunity called Aluva. And Aluva is bringing something to the Cleveland area that has never been seen before. They are merging health and wealth together. They're merging the health and wellness just arena, but they're bringing a hedge fund opportunity that has hands-off trading right there for people. And the hands-off trading is going to be something that has never been done before in a legal way where people can put cash in and get 100% cash out at any time. And you don't even have to know how to trade, but you can see your money grow. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Bibb, this is something that is powerful. This is powerful. We are so excited over here. People are going crazy. In fact, We just had a bishop that just came in because he heard about you, Mr. Bibb, coming in this opportunity. He's a bishop of a Kojic church that just joined right there in the Cleveland area, and he said he can't wait to partner up with you in that area. He just came right on in, and he said he can't wait to blow that Cleveland area up with you, Mr. Bibb. I'm telling you, this opportunity is something else.
Now, thank you, Mr. Panicus. And I think you told me that when you were up there, you ran into my old super Miss Candace, Top Gun. Robert Dean was there representing Top Gun, right?
Yeah, Mr. Robert Dean was there. And then we
And then
ran into an
back
old
when I
friend
was
of yours.
Reverend Fab was doing body magic.
Okay. Okay.
I could reduce your two sizes. I made lots of money doing that, Reverend.
Yes, sir.
And I had an upline, a superstar upline. Did I hear you say my superstar upline was there?
Yes, and I believe she was from Cleveland, Ohio originally, and now
Right.
lives in Houston, Texas, and a young lady named Dorothy Cook. She actually has been with this company for over a year and is making and is the top money earner currently with this company and has a phenomenal testimonial. At the age of 76, this young lady ran down the aisle. I'm talking about ran down the aisle to get up on stage, and she came down the aisle to Tina Turner. And Dorothy Cook says that this company's products has got her feeling like she's in her 40s. And she's 75 years old.
All right, all right.
I'm telling you, that we are attracting some of the top people around. And I'm telling you, Dorothy Cook looks amazing.
Mr. James Jerome Bell,
Yes,
would
sir.
would you spell the name of that company for Mr. James Jerome Bell, please?
It's ALUVA, Aluva.
Right.
And if you take the A off the front and the A off the back, you got love with a U in the middle. So you love you.
That's why I wanted to give it to James Jerome Bell, because he's our in-house love man. Thank you, Mr. Panicus, and we'll be talking to you, getting more information, because we have the only opportunity mall in the state of Ohio, Bibb Enterprises Business Opportunity Mall. So if you don't like one opportunity, you can get another one. And I seen you, James Jerome Bell, ears go up when you said hedge fund.
Oh
He
yeah.
understand hedge funds.
Mr. Bell,
right.
you need to call me immediately because I got some info for you on that hedge fund. It is hot.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Just remember, interbank, not over the counter. We're working interbank hedge fund.
Okay, when I call you, you'll be able to explain it to me.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
All right.
I have a question. For Mr.
Just a
Panicus.
minute. Candace Jones has a question.
Mr. Panicus,
Yes.
are there Zoom calls or anything that if someone wants to get more information, they could listen to or connect with?
Yeah. Yes. We're actually doing a Zoom call at 7 p.m. tonight. We actually have one on Thursday at 7 p.m. and we actually have one on Saturday at 3 p.m. And
You're muted, Mr. Panicus, if you're talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We'll keep it moving.
sorry about that.
Okay, go
Said
ahead.
we actually have a Zoom tonight at 7. We have one Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time and Saturday at 3 p.m. And I actually sent you that Zoom link, Candace. So if you want to send that out to anybody that's interested, we're going to be breaking it down. And Mr. Dean is actually going to be going over a gentleman that is a $60 million man is going to be explaining all that wealth to everybody. So we're going to be breaking everything down.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pennicus, and keep everything going, and we'll be back in touch with you.
All right. See you at the top.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Now,
Bye.
next on our schedule, what happened in Wisconsin with the progressive Democrats were moving, taking that red state and making it blue. In Chicago, the young man, Brandon Johnson, is a progressive. He come out of the Elizabeth Warren, United States Senator, and Bernie Sanders wing of the party. And now he's the mayor. Ohio is a blue no longer. It's super red. But Miss Candace Jones gonna bring you up to date on what's the latest with voter registration and how they're doing to stop us. Miss Candace Jones, would you share with us what's happening with the voter registration?
Thank you. Yes, I will. I had the opportunity to attend a meeting last week, I think it was last Thursday, with a group called Vessels Vote. And that's a group that's organized by Bishop Tony Minor, who's been on the podcast before. He's from Community of Faith Assembly. And there's a group of pastors. Reverend James Gates was there from Zion Hill Baptist Church. There were other pastors and church leaders, community activists that were at this meeting as well. Not only from just the Cleveland area, there were some that were from Lorain and Toledo as well. So the whole idea of this, and I think they've had other meetings. This is the first one that I was able to join. So at this meeting, they had a guest speaker. His name was Nick, and Nick is from Vote Riders. And Vote Riders is a nonpartisan organization, national organization focused on voter ID and challenges that present to voting access. So what Nick was there to talk about was because as one of the changes that were with the voting rights that were changed in January with that bill that was signed, House Bill 458, starting with this primary election, when somebody goes to vote, whether they're voting in person at the Board of Elections or on election day, they must have a photo ID with them. They're no longer able to use some of the other ways that they were showing their ID. They must have a photo ID. So Nick from Vote Riders was talking with us about their organization that will help people get their ID for free. And to get your ID, because in order to get your ID, you have to have some documentation, whether it's a birth certificate, social security card. So they, some of the service they offer as well is helping you get your documentation for that, because not everybody has their birth certificate. And each state has different rules as far as, how do you get your birth certificate. In Ohio, it may be different than Pennsylvania or South Carolina or whatever. And so everybody in the Cleveland area may not necessarily be from Ohio, so they have to get their birth certificate in order to get their photo ID. Where the confusion is, since this started with this primary election and early voting started Tuesday of this week, the BMV, or the BMV offices don't even know that they're supposed to be giving these IDs for free. So
Really?
it's the,
What?
yes, they don't know. I know a couple of people that went to get theirs for free, and the BMV that they went to didn't even know anything about it. So there's confusion along the way, not only for the voters that are going to be going to vote, but for the BMV offices. Now, luckily enough, for the state of Ohio, this is a primary election in May, but not all communities have anything on the ballot. It's a very small percentage of what's on the ballot. So this is our so-called practice run before we get to the general election in November, and definitely before 2024, going into the presidential primary as well. So Vessels Vote is a group that is going to help people throughout Ohio, especially the Cleveland area. They will be setting up either offices or locations where people can go to be able to go through the process to get their free ID, documentation that they need to get their free ID. So I will be bringing back more information on that. So the gentleman from Vote Riders is going to help the Vessels Vote group set up different locations where they'll be able to go and go through the process to get their ID. Now, at the meeting, we did one just as a sample. There happens to be somebody there that did not have their birth certificate. So we went through the process of how to go about doing that. And the process is simple and as Nick mentioned from Vote Riders, some states have more requirements to get your birth certificate. So he went through the process and it'll mail them his birth certificate to him. Vote Riders is also offering the opportunity, so if someone wants to go to the BMV or go down to the vital statistics to pick up their either ID or their birth certificates, they're offering rides to be able to get there as well. So they're trying to help those that are without this documentation to be able to get their ID, because there's a large percentage of voters that are registered to vote that don't have a photo ID.
Right.
So that's the hurdle that we're trying to get across, to be able to get those voters that are registered to vote their ID so they can vote at election times. So I will bring more information as I find out about it. But this is one of the major changes to the voting rights, is you have to have a photo ID to be able to vote in person on election day.
Now the questions, anyone?
How does it hurt voters who are already disenfranchised and disillusioned with the process?
So it hurts voters who are, yes, it's putting them now through another process that they have to get paperwork. So hopefully, getting volunteers out there to help them through this process is going to help engage them, not only for getting their ID or getting their documents to get their ID. We're offering these services for free to be able to work them through the process, getting them engaged that way, and then keeping them engaged throughout the election season, getting through the primary. They may not be in a community that has anything on the primary, but definitely keeping them engaged for the general election in November.
So we need to advertise more and get the word out in the community to the voters or those people that register to vote, that you need a photo ID. That's vital.
Right. That is very important. Educating the community that they need a photo ID.
Exactly.
Right. Now, the mail-in, to do the absentee ballots or the mail-in, those rules have changed some too. Although you don't necessarily need a photo ID to do the mail-in, I'm encouraging those to do the mail-in ballot. For those that may not have a photo ID, you can still do the mail-in. There are some requirements there as well, but you don't necessarily need the photo ID to do the mail-in. So there's a lot of people who cannot get out to vote that don't have IDs, definitely stressing them to use the vote by mail option as well. So yes, there's education and there's different groups. I also am part of a group that's called Voter Ed for You that are going to be helping to educate voters and the community on voting, not only the changes in the voting laws, but what's on the ballot, whether it's candidates, whether it's issues, and getting them aware of what's going on before the election time comes up.
That's
so they're
good.
well prepared. So when they do go to vote, whether it's in person, vote by mail, or election day, they actually know who they're voting for and why they're voting.
They can make an informed decision.
Right.
That's
So
good.
it's a big task but we have volunteers that are getting together to help not only in the Cleveland area, but throughout the state of Ohio as well.
And if anyone wants to volunteer with either of those organizations, do you have any contact information?
Yes, they can contact me at 216-570-4738, and I will connect them with the Cleveland area. I'm also going to give out a number for Vote Riders, because there may be someone listening that may not be in Ohio, but Vote Riders is nationwide.
Yes.
So their number is 866-ID, the letter I, the letter D, the number 2, VOTE, VOTE. So that is a nationwide number, and they have someone that is available and answering those calls all the time. So they'll be able to direct you to the resource that you need to connect with.
Well, that's good that it's a national operation, because when you need birth certificates from other states, you're going to need a national person.
Right.
Yes.
Because each state got its own rules.
Right.
Yes.
And the further south you go, the deeper the rules are.
Yes.
And the dollars.
And the
Yes.
cost for
the dollars.
is different by state to state. When the gentleman was here talking to us about that process, he did mention that he has helped people in states that have stricter rules than Ohio does, where the cost is a lot different as well.
Right.
Some are in Ohio, the cost with the tax and everything, I think it came up to like $35. There are some states where it gets up to like $70.
Wow.
Just to get your birth certificate.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was called poll tax. All right. Thank you very kindly. And really appreciate Ms. Candace Jones keeping us right on top of this. And you join now the Series Club. This is a continuous series, so be prepared to report each week on it,
Okay.
especially from now to May, even though only about 30 out of the 59 municipalities will be voting, but you have to have it because they're going to need it in November.
Right.
Okay. Ms. Sharon Penman,
Yes, sir.
so glad to see you up and about and with us. And it's time to get busy on the Juneteenth. Bring us up to date on where we are now, would you please?
Yes, sir. So to let everyone, we have, well, starting off, what that weekend, the schedule for that weekend. The Juneteenth Extravaganza weekend, Saturday, starts off Saturday, June 17th, kicking off at the East Cleveland Public Library at 1:30 p.m. that afternoon until 3:30 p.m. Following the next day will be Sunday, on June 18th. We're going to host a Juneteenth Father's Day dinner. We have secured a venue. We're not exactly ready to announce the name of that venue and location right now, but people get ready to get your tickets, and that will be announced, I'm sure, by next week, ticket information and location for that Father's Day Juneteenth dinner. And on the national holiday itself, Monday, June 19th, Juneteenth, we will have our Juneteenth festivities, kicking it off with basically a festival for all. It will be outdoors, family oriented for everyone to come. Food, fun, music, prizes, activities for everyone. So keep your ears posted to people get ready. As I said, next week we should be able to announce venues for all of these events. Thank you. Mr. Bibb?
Thank you very kindly. And since you're here, just hold your seat there.
All right.
Mr. Jeff Payton? Is Mr. Jeff Payton in the house?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Jeff Payton?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Miss Sharon Penman just finished her Juneteenth report, and you can finish up because I want to talk to you from dinner about our Sunday special hour, which
All
I've
right.
named Hour of Power.
Okay, I like that.
Miss Sharon is looking good, like the patches are working out real good.
Oh, yes. Yes,
You
definitely.
know, I appreciate, I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Ms. Penman. I want to thank Candace. Um, I want to thank Reverend Fair. And most of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Bibb, because you have assigned me the most incredible people that I could have been assigned to. I can't wait to start working with Jerome Bell because he himself is a powerhouse and so dignified. I can't wait to find out who he knows. But thank you once again. This coming Sunday, we've been planning for this for a few weeks now. And I like the name that Mr. Bibb is tagged called Hour of Power. Um, this coming Sunday, April 16th, which is Easter Sunday, and I know people are going to be with their family and their friends. I don't want to interrupt all of that. Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting correct. Hold on. April 9th.
This Sunday is the 9th.
Yes, the 9th.
My bad. Sunday is the 9th. I didn't get that. But yes, Sunday is the 9th, and we are going into this hour of power. But I know the people are going to be with their families and friends and listen. What better opportunity to speak with large groups than when you have family and friends around? You want you and everyone that you know to share, to be talked about, or to be patched with this X39. Now, I know it's kind of going to sound kind of weird to some folks, but listen, this is a great time to launch your business. A lot of people want to go on vacation and put their feet up and that sort of thing. Listen, let's talk to everybody that we know. Okay. In doing so, get them on the Zoom that afternoon. Mr. Bibb, let me confirm the time for that.
9 p.m. We wanted everybody to get their Easter dinners and everything out the way and just relax and listen to the new 90-day Blitz plan because
There
we
you go.
intend to have over these next 2.5 months now. It's not real 3 months.
That's right. And then I
Some major
promise,
major
yes,
promotions in the business.
you're gonna get some special surprises on that evening. But I don't want to give too much away, but please promote for that Sunday Easter 9 o'clock p.m. On this same Zoom, and we're going to be able to get your business launched. We're not going to take a whole lot of your time up. It'll probably go about 30 minutes or so, but we want your folks to know that there's something happening the day after Easter. And on the day after Easter, we're going to be we're going to be patching folks with X39. So please take advantage of this opportunity. And thank you, Mr. Bibb, for allowing me to share that.
All right, thank you. And we'll be talking to you later this evening.
Sounds good. I look forward to
Right.
it.
And
Thanks, folks. Y'all have a good evening.
listen to this.
You too.
Reverend Ben Fair's coming
Good
back
night.
to the table to bring you some hot news. Smoking coming out of Tennessee, the state of Tennessee. You won't believe this, Miss Candace. We're going to the Tennessee state legislature. Elected state legislators.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibb. We have some interesting news that's happening in Tennessee. It's crazy. We have the Tennessee House Republicans take steps to remove Democrat lawmakers after they joined the gun control protests. Tennessee House Republicans on Monday took steps toward expelling 3 Democratic state representatives after they participated in the protests at the state capitol last Thursday, calling for more gun control in the wake of the deadly mass shooting at Nashville's Covenant School. The GOP lawmakers filed 3 resolutions Monday, one each seeking the expulsion of Reps Gloria Johnson of Knoxville, Justin Jones of Nashville, and Justin Pearson of Memphis, each of whom was already removed from their committee assignments after last week's demonstrations. Wow. Can't demonstrate anymore, Ms. Phipps. The resolutions were filed by Republicans Rep. Bud Huntley and Gino Balasso and Andrews Farmer. The 3 Democrat lawmakers led a protest on the House floor last Thursday, CNN affiliate WSMV reported, using a bullhorn as demonstrators called for lawmakers to do something to prevent further gun violence after 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults were killed in a mass shooting at the private Christian school last week. CNN has reached out to Johnson and Jones and Pearson. The 29-year-old shooter was armed with 3 guns and fired 152 rounds during the attack. Police said that there comes a time when you have to do something out of the ordinary, said Jones in a tweet. We occupied the House floor today after repeatedly being silent from talking about the crisis of mass shootings. In a series of tweets Monday, Speaker of the House Cameron Saxon called the Democratic lawmakers' actions unacceptable, adding they broke several rules of decorum and procedures on the House floor. CNN has reached out to Saxon. The lawmakers themselves, however, appear defiant, with Johnson telling reporters Monday, "We committed no crime." Johnson acknowledged they broke a rule by speaking out of turn, but stressing, we walked to the well to speak to the people that begged for us to protest them. On Tuesday, Pearson publicly shared the letter he sent to the House members in which he said he takes accountability for not following decorum on the House floor, but did not put defendants his actions. So that's what's happening down there in Tennessee, Mr. Bibbs. You have the Democratic lawmakers who are protesting with the protesters about the gun laws, but the Republicans is in defiant, and they trying to remove those Democratic lawmakers, those representatives in Tennessee. It's gonna look crazy.
No, they're not crazy. They're going by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules got them off the committees.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to get them out. They
Right.
got to get attorneys and everything now to keep them. They elected. They
Right.
not appointed. And that's why I wanted to make sure you read that,
Yes.
so that our listening, viewing audience will know what's going on. Now,
Yes.
this is after 6 people were killed.
Yes.
They were protesting that there's too many guns.
Yes.
And the elected officials came in the world to speak on it, and they expelled them from their committees.
Yes.
And the next thing, they're trying to get them out the state legislature.
Yes.
And this is what's happening across the country where the Republicans are in charge.
Yes.
And we're in a state where Ms. Candace just told us what's happening with the voter registration.
Right.
It's getting worse unless we organize.
We
Thank
need
you.
we need our community
Right.
to get out and vote, Ms. Bibb.
Right. Yeah, they're not getting out and vote. You gotta mobilize and organize to get them out to vote. Okay, anyone else have anything that just, I think we're down to, we're down to 1 minute? Thank you, Ms. Sharon, for that fine report. We're gonna put some meat on the bone.
I do have, while we have the last few seconds, I do want to make the announcement about Strength in Numbers. Dr. Charles Modlin, Director of Metro Health, Minority Men's Health Fair will take place on Thursday, April 27th, 2023, 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. You can log on to the Metro Health sites to register for the event. There'll be 3 locations that it will take place in, and we'll have those locations definitely for sure